Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're finally gonna get to the tier list for the caster's DPS. And before we get into any of this, I will say this as a statement about this game: all jobs are equally balanced and can go through every content in the game. So with that being said, just because I put one job in a certain area because I value other things in the game does not mean that the job lacks any value to the game. Now, with all that being said, go ahead and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, let's go ahead and just get started right into today's video. And I think the perfect job of what I should start off with is one that people always comment I've got wrong in my last patch 5.5 video, which is the Black Mage. And I'm gonna state this by saying, yes, I get the job does a F ton of damage. I get that. I get that. I hear you. Yes, the job's utility is its high damage because it is the strongest class in the game. I get that. But when I make this tier list video, I have in my head things that, one, people won't enjoy, two, just overall complaints you hear about the job, three, damage isn't the only thing in this game. Like, sure, having somebody that does that damage is good, but if I can just take a Black Mage and trade out with a Samurai, one, he has movement, he doesn't just sit there, he still brings just about as much utility to the party as Black Mage, which is none other than damage, which isn't really utility, because every job in this game can do damage. The skill ceiling on this job is incredibly high. It's easy to play, but to become the best Black Mage in the game, it's not an easy task to do. You got to be able to learn where you should put your ley lines, where you should sit, and I just think all these things for newish players is not going to be the easiest. But even with that out, you still have no movement, you still bring no utility, actual utility, and all you bring is damage. So I get that that's going to, first off, get a bunch of hate from everybody that plays Black Mage. I get that. I get you don't like hearing the complaints about your job. But when I'm making a tier list video, that's kind of what it's got to be. You're going to hear everything you don't want to hear, so I can accurately place this. Now, you got to listen to this. Even with all my complaints on this job, I still want to give it an A tier. But let me state this. I have recently made a new character so I can play with my friends, right? And I picked Thaumaturge, turned it into a Black Mage, and I've been enjoying it. I still have the same complaints of there's no movement, utility's not really there, the damage just feels right. I get that. It feels amazing. So with that alone, I will put it in S tier. But I'm a little ticked off that the main thing people pick apart on this job is it should be an S tier because of its damage. There are a lot of things in a tier list video other than just damage. If we were doing a tier list on damage, I could fill a lot of jobs in S tier. I'd put Monk, I'd put Samurai, I'd put Ninja because the Ninja's got the best opener. But when I make a tier list video, I think about other things than just its damage. Does this bring any utility? No, it really doesn't. It can't bring anybody back from the dead. It doesn't put any like stats that help the team. It doesn't. It just does damage. That's the point of the job. And I get that's what you're gonna say. Well, this job isn't made for that. But when I make a tier list video, I'm thinking about what job will have raid utility or dungeon utility. And I think I could put other jobs above it before I put this one in my raid or utility. And I don't know why I got antivirus just popping up randomly. That's a little bit dumb. But with that being said, I will put the Black Mage as an S tier, because while in my prior videos, I'd only played a little bit of it, I've been recently kind of maining it, and I do enjoy the job. I do think it does have its arguments for being an S tier. So with that being said, having played it more and experienced exactly what I disliked and liked about the job, I can accurately rate this as an S tier, because while yes, it has no utility, yes, it sits still, yes, it has its negatives, its damage is there. Honestly, if I wanted to, I would make a whole new thing and put A+ tier. It's just not worth the time. Or S-. I definitely think this could be an S- job. I really do. I don't think it's the strongest S+ job. Now let's go to the Red Mage. After all the willy-nilly on the Black Mage, I absolutely dislike the Red Mage. I really do. Out of all the casters, I don't like it. Yes, it has good utility for the team. Yes, it has mobility. Yes, it has some things that the Black Mage doesn't have. But its damage is just, to me, it's not there. Playing that job, I feel like it's boring. It's simple. It's dumb-proof. I don't enjoy playing the job. To me, out of all the jobs, while yes, it brings more to the party, it ultimately is boring to play. I think, like, if I was to make a pros and cons of each job, which I might do in the future, just let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in. But that aside, the pros I see for this job are: 1, it has heals. 2, it has the raise. 3, it's got the dual cast. So after every hard cast, you get a quick cast of another spell. And that's good for a mage. And it has melee abilities tacked on in its rotation, and has a good AoE rotation. It feels like its damage just isn't there. And at that point, I could bring a summoner, or honestly just a summoner. Or I could have a team built of an astrologian and white mage and have damage there as well. But I just think out of all the casters, it is the weakest. It's the weakest. Yes, it has raise. Yes, it has heals, but so does the summoner. And the summoner does good damage. And honestly, what we're going to do is we're not going to put this S tier, A tier stuff. We're going to put 1, 2, and 3. And, oh, no, I did not mean delete row. Delete row. We're going to rank them out of 1, 2, 3. Which one's the best, which one's the worst, in my opinion. We're going to do it that way. We're going to change it up a little bit in the middle of the video, and we're going to change it up to this. We're going to rank them from 1, 2, 3. And I think, as casters, I think the worst one, in my opinion, is the Red Mage. Yes, it brings utility. Yes, it brings all this. It's just a boring, doesn't have like a feel. Like, if I had one thing that I would tell to Yoshi P, I would kind of work on bringing some more to the Red Mage. Like, a lot of people say it's right where it needs to be, but I feel like it should do a little bit more. I feel like it needs something added to its kit. I don't know exactly what it's missing, but when I play this job, it just feels soulless. I don't enjoy it. And I know that's more of a personal problem than anything, but in my head, I cannot rank this above Black Mage or Summoner. Now, with that being said, the final one is Summoner. And I'm going to go ahead and put it up here. I'm going to put it at 1 because I'm about to make an argument of why I'd pull a summoner over a black mage. In my opinion, black mage has the damage. Yes, it does. Skill ceilings, they both have incredibly high skill ceilings. The skill ceiling on the red mage is low, which makes it easy for new players to pick up, but it's ultimately not. It's just not in the talk when it comes to casters. I love the aesthetics of all these jobs. They look cool. Black mage definitely has the better ones, but they all look cool. And we're just gonna, for the sake of what I'm about to say, as much as I love playing an easy job and not having the hardest of rotation, the black mage does require a high knowledge of fight. If you are in a raid and you have no knowledge of the raid, there is a good chance you will wipe. And the only real thing you bring to the table is damage. So if I'm ranking these from 1, 2 to 3, I think the best one is the summoner. And the reason being I think the summoner's good is it brings heal, it brings a heal, it brings a raise, and it brings the damage. It's the best of both worlds. It is the black mage, but with the heals of a red mage. And it does have mobility. The cons to this job as a summoner, though, are just the pet or eggy UI. I do not like it. I do not like how you can get finicky things based off of that. Honestly, my pet peeve with the summoner is the pet system. I just think the pet system, while yes, it will be getting changed in Endwalker, it probably should have been changed a little bit sooner. I'm not a fan of it. I like Phoenix, I like the Bahamut and all that, but there are just things I would change. I really hope that what they do in Endwalker changes it, but honestly, that's its con to me, and it's a big con. Like, I do not have any gameplay dislike for the black mage. If I know the raid, I know what I'm doing. If I know the dungeon, I know what I'm doing. Like, the black mage to me is a good job, but I'm not gonna give it the #1 spot just because of personal taste and damage. Like, if this was which job's gonna kill the quickest, well, then we'd have it right here. But no. I definitely, just to sum up everything, strongly believe that the summoner is the best caster, just based on overall things. The black mage is the second best, but could be argued for the first best. But there are just things in my head that I value a little bit more than other people. And I think the red mage is the last best, mainly because I just can't get behind the class itself. I pick it up, I want to put it down instantly because it feels like I'm doing nothing. It's just overall boring. Like, I know a lot of people who have seen Mr. Happy's ranking the casters. He also says the job is boring as well. And I know I've read the comments on that one. There are a lot of people hating on that one. Or not really hating, but arguing for the point of red mage being fun. And I get there are a lot of people that enjoy that class, and I'm sorry that I just don't. But this is how I view the jobs in Final Fantasy as a caster. And so if there are any things you would like to change about what I put here, be sure to leave it in a comment. Do not get overly judgmental of it. This is just a tier list based on my opinions of the job. If you feel your job should be ranked higher, go ahead and let me know why. And not just be like, black mage damage, it good, put here. No, I need an explanation why you see it as that. And just be overall more willing to explain more than just try to prove that you're right. But with all that being said, I want you to go ahead and have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Bye-bye.